Hi and welcome to another episode, and today I want to talk to you about time. Because so many times I hear people say, I just don't have enough time. And I want to talk to you today and let you know it's never time that is the problem. It's your inability to manage it well. Yeah. So how do you manage time? Today I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about how to tackle that misconception that hold many of us back, and that's time management. So for those of you that know me, this is one of my favorite topics, and it's one that always comes up both in inquiries and also in coaching sessions, and it comes up often. And it's something that with a few simple tweaks can be improved dramatically, but it is a continual work in progress. So how often have you found yourself saying, I don't have enough time? Or maybe you've heard others say, it's easy for that person because they have more time, or they don't work as hard, or they don't have as many things on their plate. I've encountered this statement so frequently in my coaching sessions and daily interactions with family, with friends. But here's the truth. It's never time that's the problem. It's how you manage your time. And even to myself, I say this often. When I catch myself in my mind using the excuse of time, I will often flip that. And I want to share with you an example of just little tweaks that you can make, but a recent tweak that I made on my trip to Italy. So on the flight back home, I could have spent the entire time watching movies or trying to sleep or listening to music. Instead, I chose to forward plan my emails and outline my YouTube videos and podcasts for this month. This was a proactive step, and it saved me hours upon my return when I knew that I had some catching up to do because I'd spent a month away. And it allowed me to hit the ground running and knock off one of the bigger jobs on my to-do list. And especially not knowing what the jet lag would be like on my return. So thank God I did. And this mentality can be applied to so many areas of our lives. So let me ask you this. When emails come up, or come through on the day-to-day, are you the type of person that rushes to send a reply straight away? Or do you batch reply? Meaning, do you give yourself certain periods throughout the day where you find maybe you're not as productive and replying to emails would be better then? Or do you find yourself using your prime time and your most productive time to do things that aren't as important? Sure, there are emails that we may need to reply to at a particular time, depending on the work that we do or depending on the nature of the email. But quite often, when we reply to emails, we're replying to other people's agendas. And I know for myself that a lot of emails come through from school. My kids are at 2 different schools and from kinder. And I know that a good time for me to do these emails, because they're important, but often not urgent, is when I'm waiting at school pickup on the side of the road. So I'll read the school newsletter, or I'll pop dates in my calendar for personal appointments, or, reminding me to bring a gold coin, or it's pajama day, or whatever it is. But the thought of doing this during the times when I'm most productive, to me feels like a waste of time, and it just feels super unproductive. And when we use our most productive time focusing on little things like this, time slips away. So it's not time that's the problem, it's how can we better manage what's on our to-do list to move us forward. And this leads me to talking about the 24 hours in the day. We all have the same 24 hours in the day, and the difference lies in how effectively we manage those hours. Some individuals seem to always get ahead, and you'll see them, while others tend to lag behind. And the key is quite often in their approach to time management and how they structure their workload. If they forward plan, if they have a morning routine that works for them, and their focus on their projects and their focus on the steps that they need to get them to where they need to be. But in order to manage our time better, we need to want to, and we need to cut out the excuses, or we need to cut out playing victim in certain parts of our lives. And some people don't know how to do it better, and that's okay, and they need people to help them and to encourage them. Some people also enjoy the attention that not enough time or I'm too busy brings. So unfortunately, I'm not talking about those individuals today, as that's another topic, but I want to talk to you about if you want some tools or some tweaks that you can make in your day to get those bigger rewards. And I want to help you today and give you a head start by giving you 5 questions that you can ask yourself on a day-to-day or in life to both evaluate your time management skills, but also to let you know where there's areas for growth that maybe you need to be focusing on. And this will allow you to work out how much time you can direct in a more positive way. So if you have a pen and paper, or you have a notebook, or you can even write this down on your phone, or you can refer back to this later. But I want to ask you questions, and I'd love you just to write this down just to see how it can help you in your own life moving forward when it comes to time management. The first one is, how much time did you waste this week or last week on social media? And by waste, I mean it's okay to browse if that's what you want to do for a certain amount of time. But how much time did you actually waste? Because social media can be a huge time sink if we don't manage it properly. So tracking the minutes, the hours, or the time that you spend scrolling is a really important factor if you want to know where some of your time is going, because I can guarantee this is an area that we can all improve, including myself. Question 2 is, how much time did you spend watching TV instead of moving your life forward? Now, entertainment is important and unwinding is important. And so I'm not saying not to do that, because one of my favorite things to do is when my kids go to bed, just lie on the couch and watch some trash TV, the complete opposite of what I do during the day. And for me, that helps me unwind. But I want you to think about the hours you spend in front of the TV. And I want you to think about, is that overindulging? And what productive activities could you have done instead? So again, I'm not saying to eliminate it, but there may be periods in the day or periods at night where you could be better spending your time. So I'd love you to ask yourself that question. Question 3 is, how much time have you spent this week looping on repetitive thoughts and worrying about things out of your control? Quite often we find ourselves worrying about things we can't control. How will other people respond? Will they respond? What will they do in that particular situation? And it takes a lot of mental energy from us and emotional energy. So reflecting on how much of your week was lost due to these thoughts can be really powerful. You know, what can we control? We can control our character. We can control our outlook. We can control our desire to bring new things into our lives. But there are certain things that we can't control. And so spending time thinking about that is a waste of our time. So that's question 3. Question 4 is, how much time have you spent procrastinating or lying in bed after the alarm has gone off instead of jumping straight out? And when we came back from Italy recently, this was a bit of a struggle to get me going. It took a few days. But the morning sets the tone for the entire day. So calculate the time wasted in bed and think about how starting your day earlier or more energetically or being more proactive or jumping out of bed as soon as the alarm went off could improve your productivity for that day. And how would that help you with time? So that's question number 4. And question number 5 is, when you add questions 1 to 4 together, so the answers from question 1 to 4, what is the total time you've wasted this past week? And what could you instead have done with that time? That's a big one. So if you feel this is an area that you struggle with and you want to get better at managing your time, feel free to book a call and let's spend a couple of hours helping you to take back control in your personal and professional life, because time management is something that I'm passionate about. So remember, living a high performance life is about thriving, both personally and professionally. It's not about taking out everything that you enjoy and replacing it with productive things, but it's about being in charge of your days so that you feel good and you're moving ahead in a way that feels good to you. So it's never about needing more time. It's about making the most of the time you have. So I hope this episode has been helpful. If it has, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with my YouTube videos or my podcasts. And also feel free to join my email list. I send out a couple of emails a week to get you motivated and inspired for the week ahead. So until next time, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life. Your coach, Belle.